Hello, everyone. This is the Cultural Pittsfield radio show. My name is Jen Glockner. I am the director of the Office of Cultural Development for the wonderful city of Pittsfield. We're so happy to be here today. We have Hilary from the Berkshire Museum, and I am going to ask you to say your full name and your title because I always forget your title.
I hope this is a long program. My name is Hilary Dunne Ferrone, and I was hired about 2.5 years ago to serve as the Chief Engagement Officer, which I have done happily since then. And as of September, this past September, I share executive directorship responsibilities with Craig Langlois and Miriam Kronberg. So my complete title, name and title, Hilary Dunne Ferrone, Chief Engagement Officer and Interim Co-Executive Director.
It's amazing.
Of the Berkshire Museum.
And this is why I asked you to say it, because I said earlier, I could write all this down, but it would be way easier to have
Does it really
Hilary.
fit on a card?
No, it doesn't fit on a card, but they are on the search for an executive director, which is very exciting. So Hilary is here because the Berkshire Museum is doing many wonderful things these days, including something on Friday. The date of Friday is March 11th. Friday, March 11th. It's called the Unbeach Party.
The Unbeach Bash.
Unbeach Bash. And Un is in parentheses.
Un is in parentheses because it's a beach bash, but we know that it being mid-March in Pittsfield, it's not really beachy. But we thought it would be kind of fun to do a little play on that, where some people are lucky enough to be going off to some warm climate, and many of us are here trying to make it through to spring, whatever that means here in the Berkshires. And so we've got just a nice... We've got that theme going. We have great support from Berkshire Mountain Distillers, who are providing some fun rum punch drinks, and Shire Brew House has provided some beer for us, and we've got KJ Nosh giving some nice seafood and vegetarian option.
You're going to have the beach vibe. So it's called the Unbeach Bash at the Berkshire Museum on Friday, March 11th. But the beach vibe will be there. So I was talking with friends, we're going, and everyone's saying it's called the Unbeach Bash, but wear your beachwear. Not your swimming suit, but your Hawaiian shirts.
And I'm sorry, I kind of buried the lead, too. We have a steel drum band playing as well.
Oh, see, so there will be beach.
It's going to be really nice, and it's going to be around our wonderful exhibit, Voyage to the Deep, which if you haven't seen that yet, it's really phenomenal. It really shows off our beautiful second floor, large galleries, and it's super interactive. Kids love it, but I think adults will love it too.
Yes.
It's a nice party scene. So we've got the theme really down, and I've got a wonderful young staff that's really excited about decorating the space. So
that's very exciting. Very exciting. The Unbeach Bash is Friday, March 11th. It starts at 6 o'clock.
6 to 9.
And there is all of the information on the Berkshire Museum website, including what we've just said if you missed it. But the key is there are in-person events happening. This is what we were talking about off air a little bit with the PCTV, WTBR folks and Bev, and it's slowly coming back to real life. This is an in-person event at the Berkshire Museum, which is so amazing.
Yeah, we had an event in November when we had our beautiful moon, and that was a masked event, and we did keep numbers down. And as you may know, as of this past Monday, we have suspended our mask and proof of vaccine requirements for our visitors. Staff during the workday remain masked, but other than that, we have suspended that regulation. So this will be the first event where people should feel welcome to mask or not mask as they prefer.
It is very tricky. It's tricky times because most of us are polite and we want to respect others, comfortness. And so if someone is wearing a mask and wants me to wear a mask, I will gladly wear a mask. But I personally am speaking only for me. I don't want to wear a mask. So if you tell me I don't have to wear a mask anymore, I'm going to take my mask off. But it's just such a tricky time and unprecedented. I mean, we've never been through anything like this. So the Berkshire Museum is hosting the Unbeach Bash on Friday, March 11th, around the Voyage to the Deep exhibit. They have suspended the mask and vaccine requirements following science. I was on a Zoom this week with you, and you explained that you are following science to lead you.
Right, and that's, that it seems like so many things that we say are can be loaded or misconstrued, if you will, or just have different connotations to different people. So what we talked about organizationally is that we were not making any kind of statement except for following what the CDC recommended, what the Commonwealth recommended, what Pittsfield wanted, and our fellow cultural organizations. And so when the schools especially dropped their mandate, we thought, then we'll drop ours. We're very, we're open to the entire community. Of course, if you want to wear a mask, please wear a mask. But and if you have concerns, and we're very conscious of that. But we did not want to be making any kind of statement other than just being good neighbors and community members.
Yes, and that is what it's all about now more than ever. Community friendliness. I don't think that's the way I should say it, but just being a part of the community and realizing what your neighbors want. And we're all in this together for sure. Once again, this is the Cultural Pittsfield Radio Show. We're so happy to be on WTBR 89.7 FM. My name is Jen Glockner. I'm the director of the Office of Cultural Development for the City of Pittsfield. We have Hilary Dunne Ferrone here, the Chief Engagement Officer and interim co-executive director from the Berkshire Museum, talking specifically about the Unbeach Bash happening this Friday, March 11th. You are probably listening to this on Friday morning, so it's tonight. Get your act together. Get the tickets. Go out on a Friday night. Friday nights are good to go out, and I do love the time is 6 to 9 because I go out early and then I'm home usually by 9 o'clock, and that's when the younger crowd comes. Wherever I am, I see the younger crowd coming in. I give them a high five. I say, good night, everybody. But I love that you are, realizing that the crowd, if people want to get there at 6 and leave by 8, it's okay. But if other people don't want to get there till 7 and stay till 9, that's okay too.
And honestly, I part of our desire to do this is that some people will come for a drink, look around, maybe see friends, and then go on and have dinner somewhere downtown. And so I think that's a really important thing to do. Again, as a downtown Pittsfield institution, we want people to come down and enjoy Pittsfield and go to one of the great restaurants we have right downtown, or whatever you want to do. I encourage people to come to the museum, and if you want to extend the night, there's plenty to do up North Street for sure. Yes,
absolutely. This is Friday, March 11th, tonight, if you're listening to this on Friday morning. And this whole party, Unbeach Bash, is around the exhibit Voyage to the Deep. So let's talk about that. What is that exhibit?
Well, in a word, it's fantastic. So we opened this exhibit in January, and perfectly timed for the February vacation week. We just had our 10 days of play, which is such an important thing. We broke all kinds of admission records. It was really so heartening to see kids, families, older adults, anybody just really enjoying the museum. We had some great programming. We have a fantastic public programming staff and just super programs. But so Voyage to the Deep is based on the Jules Verne novel, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And it is an actual large submarine. If you haven't seen our new second floor galleries, which reopened in August, the submarine goes through 2 galleries, and it's kid geared so that kids can go in. It's very interactive. There's a bubble organ. There's a slide, not for adults, not at the Unbeach Bash. Let me just say, the slide will not be open.
Good to note. Good to note.
Unless you're a very petite adult, but still,
don't
bad
even
idea.
say that. I would say no adults. No adults.
No, but fantastic learning experience. What is life like in a submarine? There are even bunks there. You can steer the submarine virtually, of course. And so it's just a neat way. It's certainly not how I grew up, going to museums where, stand back, don't touch, look at the wonder on the walls. And this is, let's really teach you what life is like under the sea. So that's really fun. It's fantastical. It's got a big squid over one end of the submarine.
That's the best picture. Everybody that's going to the exhibit is posting the picture of the big squid over the submarine, which is very cool.
The B-52 song, giant squid, if you're of a certain age. But it's, so there's that. But on the more serious end, we've partnered with General Dynamics, and they have loaned a model of an underwater exploring. It looks like a little submarine. And what it does to explore the sea floor and everything, because of course, just a small percentage of this sea floor has been studied and investigated, and so that's what they're doing. So there's a real science end to it. So very interesting. But I think what I really like that our collection staff has done is kind of juxtapose what exploration is about. So you'll see and some of our artifacts, like the sledge of Hansen's expedition that he used, because he was underwritten by Zenas Crane, our museum's founder.
Yes.
And then there's also an Eskimo suit to see how they dressed long ago in that kind of climate. And so that's a really interesting thing. Like, what is exploration, and how have we gotten to where we are? And then also within the galleries that have the submarine, we have our beautiful Class A paintings of any waterscapes, seascapes. So again, neat to see what crafts were going out into the oceans back when these paintings were created. And so we've really added a nice depth to the exhibition, as opposed to just this fantastic submarine, but really giving a good sense of art history, exploration, science, all in one stop.
And all these local connections. It's so awesome to realize. People don't realize all the cool things that General Dynamics is doing. And so to get them connected to the local cultural institutions is always so amazing. They do these cool things with us, these interactive demonstrations and experiments, and they're just so cool. So I always am very thankful that they're in our community, and the connection to Mr. Crane there's all these Pittsfield local connections. So it's awesome. The Berkshire Museum does a great job of showing those off and letting the community know that they're here, because there's so many things right in our backyard that the Pittsfield and Berkshire community don't realize it. So it's very awesome that we're highlighting them and making them aware, making everyone aware of the cool things that are here. Once again, this is the Cultural Pittsfield Radio Show. We're so happy to be on WTBR 89.7 FM. My name is Jen Glockner. I'm the Director of the Office of Cultural Development for the City of Pittsfield. We are talking to Hilary Dunne Ferrone, the Chief Engagement Officer and Interim Co-Executive Director at the Berkshire Museum. We're talking about all things Berkshire Museum, specifically the Unbeach Bash, which is happening tonight, Friday, March 11th, at the Berkshire Museum. You referenced a little bit about the 10 by 10 in February vacation week. That was so awesome. We ended up having the ice sculpture there on Thursday, February 24th. That was the third attempt. The first two were 50-degree days and it was going to rain. And so we just kept saying no. And it was awesome because it stayed there for a good 10 days, which is unheard of. Yeah. So we picked the right day. But the Berkshire Museum was so hopping that day. It was the Thursday of school vacation week. And it was awesome to have the artists so engaged with all the people, the kids, the adults were stopping and asking questions and so excited to be out. I think that it's just a great time. People want to get out and see everything. I was talking to Craig and he said that you were breaking records.
Yeah.
Attendance records.
Amazingly. Not just by a little, but yeah. It was a great week. It was a great 10 days. We really are looking to see it continue. And even, this week we've had some fantastic numbers. Weather is a big thing. And even that Thursday night of the 10 by 10 art party, when that storm was coming in and alerts were coming in, and we thought, okay, I've never had to read radar so closely of like, are we safe to do it? And of course we were, and that was wonderful. And we had the beautiful sculpture outside, and it just felt just wonderful, kind of why we're all here, why we live here. It was just a really nice spirit in the museum, outside of the museum. I have a lovely gentleman who's been very involved with the museum, lives next door now, in the retirement home, and he said it just warms his heart looking out and seeing children filing into the museum, and I thought, that's what it's all about.
It was really great. It was a great community. Again, it was just so it was community thriving on that vacation, and I would drive by to check on the sculpture or see what everything, and there were always people coming and going. I think just downtown Pittsfield in general, all of Pittsfield in general, was really hopping that week. Bosque, the ski place, was great. And then all the restaurants had that live music every night. And then people wanted to go out to eat. So that was a good time. But we were very thankful that the Berkshire Museum, one, was flexible because we were like, we're going to do it on this day. Oh, no, we're switching it to this day. And we're switching it. And Sabrina was like, okay, we're going with it. We can do it. So that
we're very flexible, and it's funny. That's something that at the museum we've talked a lot about. We have this fantastic collection, and putting some flexibility into what we do, and that's a value of ours at the museum. And I just wanted to go back to talk about another exhibit we have in our renovated spaces on the second floor. We have little pocket galleries, and one staff member who's not on the collections team came up with this idea of how about a theme of blue, because we're talking about deep sea exploration and have these wonderful paintings up. And so we went further into our collection and pulled all sorts of things, whether a kimono or pottery, chinaware, that are blue.
That's awesome.
And so in one of our pocket galleries, you can pop in and see the breadth and depth of our collection. So just in one little space. And we do that, and we have our mobile museum units, which I hope you're aware of. This is when we're bringing the museum out into the community. And they're themed along, you can do any theme you want. We're trying to combine science and art, of course, and our educators bring them out to schools, and we have some corporate sponsors who have them in their own workplaces. And so it's another way of being flexible, agile, ready to turn on a dime, really, whether it's ice sculpture or a small exhibit. We're trying to move quickly because that's kind of where we are, right?
Right. Keep calm and flexible. That's my mantra for 2022.
I don't know how calm I do, but flexible for sure.
Well, I say that to myself, but in hoping that it helps. But keep calm and flexible, because I think that is one thing that we have learned in COVID is the flexibility is not as hard as some people thought it would be. And I think that will be a good thing to keep in our future endeavors and events, and keep flexible. We have to be flexible in everything that we do. So that's super important. All right, we're talking about the Unbeach Bash, which is tonight, Friday, March 11th, at the Berkshire Museum, 6 to 9 p.m. All of the information is on the website. Berkshire Museum members do get discounted tickets always. So think about saying join membership, and then you get money off for the ticket. You can do all of that online very easily. And it's around the Voyage to the Deep exhibit, which is obviously appropriate. Wear your beach wear, Hawaiian shirts, anything I think some people that I know, I'm not going to name any names, are going to go a little crazy with this theme.
I hope they do. I probably won't. I'm not a go crazy type, really. And my excuse will be I'm at work. But yeah, it is. It's just a chance to enjoy yourself and be out and hopefully see some friends or acquaintances you haven't seen in a while. Because I think we're all having that. I know I'm catching up with friends later on and thinking, these are people I saw every week. And now it's like a special event to see each other. So we are kind of coming out of it. And
yes.
Glad to play that role for sure. And I want to add that we are having a raffle, and every ticket purchase you get one raffle ticket, but you can always buy more. And we've got some nice little things to keep you feeling good. Something from Kripalu, something from Mission Gastropub. So from Berkshire Mountain Distillers. So
it's gonna be a good night. The Unbeach Bash. And we should say, for those that are feeling like you don't have to dress up in a beach theme. It's okay, because we don't want people, again, another thing that we have learned to adjust to is we don't want people to be anxious about things. So keep calm. Don't be anxious. You don't have to wear a beach theme.
Maybe wear a flower behind your ear. Who knows? That may happen.
That's easy. You can adjust things very easily without putting on your full beach Hawaiian shirt. Craziness. Flip-flops. It's going to be hard to wear flip-flops.
Flip-flops, yeah. Yeah, probably.
Might have to do a changing of the shoes. I'm just thinking out loud here. No flip-flops because we're supposed to get some snow. We're recording this on Wednesday. We're supposed to get some snow today, more snow on Saturday. Winter is not over in the Berkshires.
It's not. Even though the birds were chirping this morning, I saw a chipmunk. But
this is the time of year that birds get really confused because they think that the winter is gone, and then we get 5 inches of snow, and they get very, very confused. Once again, this is the Cultural Pittsfield radio show. We're so happy to be on WTBR 89.7 FM. My name is Jen Glockner. I'm the director of the Office of Cultural Development for the city of Pittsfield. We are talking to Hilary from the Berkshire Museum about all things Berkshire Museum, but I also wanted to mention that this is the last weekend of the 10 by 10 New Play Festival at Barrington Stage Company, and they are doing it at their main stage on Union Street this year. It is hysterical. I mean, I always say about these 10-minute plays, you're laughing 1 minute and crying the next because of the one is terribly sad, one is really happy. The majority of them this year are happy because Julie Boyd knows what she needs to do for her audience. So thank you, Barrington Stage Company, always, for making us feel entertained in the dead of winter. They're really, really funny. The cast members the breadth and depth of the cast members are so amazing, and I highly recommend going to see the 10 by 10 New Play Festival plays at Barrington Stage Company. They are playing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday, March 13th is the last day of the plays, and then they're getting ready for their full season, which will be here before we know it. So definitely get tickets for those. To my knowledge, they are not sold out. So go to the Barrington Stage website and grab your tickets for those 10-minute plays. You'll laugh, you'll cry a little bit, but mostly you'll laugh. So they're really, really funny. And a few years ago, one of the actors, Matt Neely, started to do this opening number to introduce the plays. To me, it's one of the best things about the whole thing. He's so funny. I mean, they're all in the opening number. One was Hamilton themed. This year is be our guest from Beauty and the Beast, but it's all 10 by 10 related. It's so funny. So I can't say enough about the 10 by 10 New Play Festival. Go check it out. The closing is March 13th, Sunday, March 13th. But we have a few minutes left here to talk about the Berkshire Museum. Hilary is here from the Berkshire Museum to talk about the Unbeach Bash, which is happening in the Voyage to the Deep exhibit at the museum. How long is the Voyage to the Deep exhibit up for?
Until May 1st. Oh. So it's a nice long exhibit. So, for example, there's a week break in April for a school break. The Voyage to the Deep will still be here. We'll have special programming around that, too. I know families are really looking for something during vacation week. I remember back when my kids were children, you get to that kind of midweek and think,
what do we do?
What are we doing? But I do want to throw in, I read a great review of the 10 by 10 plays.
Good.
And I'm saying this because I feel very strongly that we culturals have to support each other. And so I do encourage people to get to the play, go have dinner before or after, and just make a night of it. But it's such a great organization, and I just think you can't go wrong. Maybe don't go Friday night, but
yeah, Friday night. Well, it doesn't start till 7:30.
Okay, so
you could
both.
go to
do
6
both.
o'clock.
No offense taken if you want to do both.
People are into doing multiple events.
So
these
important
days
to support these great organizations. We have so much to share with
Absolutely.
the community.
We love Pittsfield and the collaborative spirit of the cultural organizations. We are so fortunate to have Berkshire Theater Group and the Colonial and Berkshire Museum, and we count the Beacon Cinema, and then we have Hancock Shaker Village and Arrowhead and Barrington Stage, as we just said. It's an amazing collection of cultural organizations within this wonderful city of ours. So yay. You're preaching to the choir here, which we love to do. I mean, please. So yes, 10 by 10 New Play Festival. Go check it out and have a night on the town.
Yeah.
For sure. So Voyage to the Deep at the Berkshire Museum goes to May 1st. And then do you have summer plans?
We do. We have Art of the Hills, which is a wonderful biannual, so every other year, celebration of artists within a 50-mile radius of Pittsfield. So it's open to that. Submissions are, I believe, open until March 31st. You can learn more on our website. It's really phenomenal. We had just beautiful art. It just gets better and better every time we hold this. And so it's a juried art show. We do have a first, I can't remember exactly how Craig has listed the honors, but we have 3 honors. And it's great. There's an opening party for the artists and their families and anyone who wants to come and meet the artists, and we'll have programming throughout that time. But the opening is June 4th, so a little low. We have a small, I'm kind of laughing before I tell you, we have an exhibit that is being lent to us from the Boston, the Museum of Science in Boston, and it's on vaccines. So it's a small exhibit. I believe it's going up later this month of March, and very educational. I mean, not all of us are, quite honestly, thinking about being entertained by vaccines, but it is really an important.
Yes, it's educational.
It's educational, but it could be yes, and
it's interesting.
I think it's very important. We all have learned more about public health in the last 2 years than we ever thought we might, unless, of course, we're an epidemiologist or something.
Yes.
But
Absolutely.
It's fascinating.
So that's coming soon to the museum. And the call for art for the Art of the Hills is up. We will share that. We continue to share that on the Love Pittsfield website and on all of our social media. But you can look on the Berkshire Museum's website for the specifics of that call for art. That is just an awesome, it's just a great exhibit. And the Berkshire Museum has so much room is that in the crane room that they do that? Or I'm confusing.
No, it's in the galleries.
In the galleries,
Yeah.
which is awesome. So
Right now we have the kids art show, the student art show up in our crane room, which is the big grand room on the second floor.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much. Hilary from the Berkshire Museum. Unbeach Bash, Friday, March 11th, 6 to 9. Go to their website for tickets and all of the information that you need and about all of the other things that we're talking about. We also have this on our website, lovepittsfield.com. Love Pittsfield. Thank you always, Bev, for being here. Thank you, Hilary.
Thank you, Jen.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.
That was really fun.